Okay. Where am I? Oh, I'm here. Happy Friday. Finally, happy Friday. It is really Real Housewives of Salt Lake City today. There's nobody here yet, but that's okay. I'm Relative Krista Marie. If you're listening for the first time or the last time, please like, comment, subscribe. And if it is the first time, then you might as well skip that for the first 10 minutes. It's going to take me that long to get situated. Those who have come here before, you know better. So yeah, I'm just waiting for some people to get into the room. Well, that's quick. Yeah. So we are talking Whose Side Are You On? Meredith. Hey babe, you're the first one here. Even Mamir's not here. Yes, whose side are you on? Meredith, everyone else, or Angie, or whose side are you on, Brittany or Angie? Good question, right? So everybody likes to comment and subscribe, and I don't know where anybody's at. Funny, right? Oh yeah, Apple, Spotify, please leave me a 5-star review. Because right now we're live on, oh yeah, Instagram. Turn Instagram on. Oh, Instagram's on. Oh, there's my dad. My dad's on the other side. He thinks he's cute. Crystal, wait for your father. My dad is on the other side. Comments are showing up. Oh no, they're not. I feel like my festive border, isn't it cute? Oh, there you are. I thought you dumped me. Mike Dad's on the other side. He's on Instagram side. She goes to hide on real quick. Oh yeah, it's Christmas week. Oh, remember I thought we had to do the ugly Christmas sweater party tonight. We can do it Monday night. It's probably gonna be the last day I go live, right? It's probably Monday night. But yeah, I put a poll up, so please do the poll. I'm starting on Meredith or everyone else, Merr, or at the end, Brittany and Angie. I want to tell you who signed on, but I'll wait because I want to go through the whole thing. Because I did notes like to myself. And then if we get through that, we'll go over our other Bravo news. I don't know what else happened. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I do know what happened with Salt Lake, though. Even though that's what we're talking about. Oh my God, the Dana. I haven't listened to Dana talk about it in weeks, but apparently Todd and Bronwyn have been like separated since 2016. So like what? Dana's whole. I mean, I think Dana would know because she still talks to Angie Catsonivas. No, Angie, Brett's ex-wife, Angie Harrington. Remember the first Angie that we had? She still talks to Angie Harrington, who lives in Salt Lake, who was married to Brett from Mormon Housewives, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Demi's husband, still married to Demi's husband, still married to Demi. Yeah, so she would know. And so I've just listened to her, like, because me and Dan haven't talked, so I have only been listening to like her little YouTube like whatever's, but like that, and she still swears that. So she thinks that Whitney and Heather took an oath. Is that the right word? An oath this season to go against Lisa. They all hate Lisa, by the way. They apparently all hate Lisa. And then Lisa's having some thyroid problems. I didn't realize something was wrong with her ankles during this episode. I didn't really see that. Like, I don't remember. Well, they were saying they were showing her ankles and they were like thrown, or they were like, remember she fell, they were swollen and stuff. And then Whitney, like, she got thrown down the, Whitney fell and was thrown down the, I don't know what it is, boat ramp by Brittany. I don't know. But, all right, so let me get my notes. I'm not going to be able to see the chat. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm sure you can see me okay, but you can hear me okay, right? Assuming so. Notes. Okay. So I have to go to my notes app, like I said. So it's going to be like, I'm not going to be able to see the chat. So they're still in Greece. And it's Mother's Day in Greece, right? And so it's in the morning, right? And they're all in the kitchen. They're getting ready to have breakfast, getting ready for the day. Heather and Angie are in there, but there's a poster on the wall in the kitchen, and it's the friendship commandments that they made at the Boston Tea Party. And there's red marks like all marked in the columns. Basically, it's Angie and it's Bronwyn and Meredith's commandments, but it's them like marking the thing, like marking all the things off, and Angie and Heather are like watching, and they're like, what the fuck? And basically, they made Meredith and Bronwyn came up with this, so they thought it was funny to hang it up and just go back and forth with it, whatever. And it goes back, like I said, to when they were doing the Boston Tea Party, right? So I think it's ridiculous and stupid, and it's only going to cause fights, in my opinion. But so Bronwyn thinks it's funny, and she thinks that the commandments that they've been violated, her and Meredith, are the ones that violated them. They think it's hilarious. So her and Meredith come up with some stupid thing, like they're making red marks on everybody's now and laughing about it. And like I said, it's only there to cause problems. But especially because Meredith doesn't like to be called out for things, right? So she doesn't like to be called out for things that she does wrong to people, and she feels like she's always being attacked. But she's the one that's going to have a board and put people's fucking names out there and hold them accountable. What are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? And then Bronwyn in the confessional, she's like, this is how kindergartners act. If they want to act like kindergartners, then this is how kindergartners act. This is they do, or some shit like that. You know what I mean? But and then she's also like she tells all the women too. She's like bartering with them that she'll buy them a prize. Whoever gets the least amount of marks. You're getting a divorce. I know you don't have a fucking like you're like on some high horse, but you've also been lying about your whole relationship as well, Bronwyn. So maybe they should like put some X's there under liar. And I'm telling you right now, I wish Listen Honey was here. Is Listen Honey here? Because I like Lisa now, and I don't like Bronwyn. And I started out loving Bronwyn and hating Lisa. Remember how against Lisa I was? I can deal with her now. I can deal with her only for a little bit. I know she has me snowed for like 5 minutes. I get it. But like Bronwyn's on my fucking nerves. Like the fact that she was, did you see what I saw with Meredith was in the back of the van? I swear she was on the, well, when she was doing the, when they were asking her about the, what was it about the 221 or the 321 thing. And she's like, what? Yeah, I did see that part. But I didn't think of that. But that she could have been. But she's always like, I'm so tired, you know. But it's like I said, it's Mother's Day anyway. And they're in Greece, and everybody's having a good time, and everybody's enjoying being Mother's Day except for Meredith. So then Angie and Heather and Whitney, they all sit outside with Bronwyn, and they're outside, and it's in the morning. Lisa walks in the room, and she threatens to push her into the water. And they like, because they're all mic'd up, and Lisa's like, no, you can't, I'm all mic'd up. And then Brittany comes out as well. And then Mary wakes up, they're all outside eating breakfast, right? And they all say Happy Mother's Day to each other. They're talking about how they've never had a Mother's Day without their kids. And then Heather's confessional is like, I'm glad I'm not with my kids. And she's like, I'm just great. I'm just glad to be on a freak trip without my kids. And then Brittany says in her confessional that it's bittersweet that everybody's talking about their kids, and then how in the confessional she's like, it's complicated with my situation. And it's like, it's complicated because your whole situation with your dude. It's really not that complicated. But Brittany points out how everything is all light and bright. So like everything's all light and bright. She says this to the group. Everything, look, we're all laughing and we're having a good time. And everything's just light and bright. And she's like, but you know who's missing? You know why? Because guess who's missing? And she means that Meredith's missing from the group. And she's like, that's why everybody's having a good time. but nobody's like really talking to Meredith and Lisa except for Lisa. Lisa's like, well, I texted her and she hasn't answered me back. And apparently Meredith got mad because she couldn't get a coffee this morning. She tells Whitney starts to tell everybody that she tried to get a coffee this morning and she got all mad and huffy and puffy, walked back in her room because she couldn't get a coffee. That's what she says anyway. That's what Lisa says anyway. But like it's talking to Meredith, but everybody like just points out she's missing from the group. So it talks about coffee. Meredith refuses to Meredith decides that she's like, when Heather goes and like knocks on her door, but she refuses to acknowledge that Heather's hurt. And the only time Heather ever brings up, so this is the thing. This is why Meredith is so upset, and I said this last week. She tried to reach out to Heather during the week. before this trip, before everybody's around each other, right? And the whole reason that Meredith didn't want to say it in front of the group, I think, is because she wanted to admit some things to Heather that she didn't want on camera. And Heather knew this, that Heather only wants to talk to Meredith when it's a group setting. And that's why Meredith's annoyed again. So that's why she wakes up annoyed. And another thing, in their confessionals, they all look like the figure skaters. They all have figure skating outfits on. It's like what's her name all over again? I can't deal with her. Little John Benet Ramsey over there and fucking like they all look like, including Heather. Like, why are we wearing figure skating outfits? I like everything, even with the little like fake stocking stuff. Like in this, you know what I mean? It's like, why are they all doing this? I don't understand. But so Mary's like, I'm gonna go talk to Meredith. I gotta go find Meredith. I gotta go find her. And they have to split the two groups up. Half of them are gonna go ride donkeys, and the other half are going to learn how to cook. So Meredith, Brittany, and Heather and Whitney are going to go to the cooking class, and then the other half's riding the donkeys. And then Whitney complains about it because she's like, "Why do you hate me so much? Why are you putting me with her?" And then Whitney's like, "Well, no, I guess it'll be nice to spend time with Meredith and talk to her." Apparently, because I said apparently, everybody's a figure skating professional outfit. Let me see what you guys are saying. I'm reading my notes. I'm reading back to you guys, but I'm leaving my little snarky comments in there. But they're all wearing figure skating outfits. I don't know how to say it. And even freaking Heather, like, why is Heather wearing it? Hey, Lauren. I'm in my notes section, so I can't see everybody in the chat, but I just go over to say what you guys were saying. Tic Tacs, I know. I don't know. What do you think, Lauren? Are you on Meredith's side or everybody else's right now? And are you on Brittany's side or Angie with the whole trademark thing that happened at the end? I'll tell you who I'm. I'll tell you whose side I'm going to get to the end, but that's whose side we're, and that's what whose side you want is. All right, back to my notes. So, okay, so half of them are riding donkeys. Lisa's one of the ones riding the donkey. So Mary goes to find Meredith, and of course Mary says to Meredith, "Are you okay?" And Meredith's like, "No, I'm not. I'm so sick of being called out. Basically, I'm the one that's always in the wrong. I can't stand it." She's like, people tell me how they feel, but again, it's like people are telling you how they feel, like when you hurt them. And I think out of her mind, I think she can be a little delusional. But she just, like, she did say some really fucked up shit on the plane. And the only reason that her and Heather are still fighting about it is because she didn't like Heather's reaction to it. And Heather didn't like the fact that she called her a liar. And they just can't seem to, like, hear each other. Meredith doesn't want to hear it. But also, Meredith tried to talk to her during the week, like I said. But Meredith, you got to just tell her how you feel. And then they start talking about Whitney. And she's like, "I don't care about Whitney." She's basically just dismissing Whitney all over together. Mary's like, "We need to all get along. Like, you need to either get over it, basically get over it." But Mary's like really legitimately worried about Meredith because I think she's realizing again that Meredith is just not in her right mind. Like, she's not hearing reason. So yeah, she tells her to get over it. And then, they're all supposed to be getting ready and getting to go meet at the bus because they have to take a bus trip in a Sprinter van Sprinter van trip all the way to where they're going before they even get there, which I think these freaking producers do this on purpose. They make these trips extra long so they have to be in a Sprinter van together because that's the only time they ever get in a fight. Because same thing at dinner. They're forced to fight or forced to drink, forced to fight because they play stupid games or like they did earlier or like they did with the earlier seasons. And that, like the dinner from hell, that's why they're called the dinner from hell because production does it. But yeah. So they're on the Sprinter van. On the way there, they all pile on. And Heather asks how she feels about with the group for cooking class, and she's like, "I'm fine. It's fine." And then Angie's like, "Well, I'm just getting the groups together, so we can make amends. That's why everybody's in separate, or everybody's paired up the way they are." And by the way, side note, Brahma looks like shit. I don't know why she's dressing the way she's dressing, and I don't know. This episode she looks horrible, except for her confessionals with her longer hair. And Meredith, she's like, "To be honest with everybody, I'm just tired of being told this week about how everybody feels about me. I'm wrong. I'm I'm this, I'm that, or I'm this, or I'm that, and this and that. And all of a sudden, Heather starts to try to talk to her. And Heather's like, listen, I'm just telling you that how I feel, and that you didn't acknowledge it. I just didn't feel the same energy back. Then the phone rings, and Meredith's phone rings, and Meredith just takes a call from Brooks. And everybody's like, because like she's in the middle of a conversation with Heather, talking about like their whole situation. And nobody could understand why she would just do that. So she's on the phone with Brooks, and she's like, Brooks, yes, honey. Yes, honey. Oh, and everybody's looking. She's like, apparently I have to get off the phone. I'm in trouble for being on the phone. And she like hangs up. Like, mind you, he's 20 fucking 5. And she's like, I can't even talk to my son on Mother's Day. It's the only time I get to talk to him. It's like, okay. And that's why I think Mary's a little worried, because it's like, okay, Delulu verb. Call him back. I'm confused. Like he's 25. What do you mean? It's just weird, right? And it's just, I don't know. She's right now, she's being a little too oversensitive about that. Like, this is all about her and her trying to avoid the argument with Heather, or like talking to Heather about it. And just basically not to take any accountability for the way she treated her, except like I keep reminding everybody or myself that Heather did try to talk to her. I mean, Meredith did try calling her before the whole show. But I guess Heather wanted it all on camera. And they're just going to keep going back and forth because nobody will take account. Well, Heather keeps saying she's sorry, but Meredith's like, okay. And every time anybody apologizes to Meredith, she's like, okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Instead of like, I'm sorry too. But nobody will take accountability for how they treat each other. And Lisa just opens up. Lisa just decides to tell everybody to shut the fuck up. And she's like, look, you won't take accountability for this, and you won't take accountability. And she's like, and I'm like, oh, she's actually kind of right. You know? And like I said, in my opinion, Heather wanted to talk to Meredith, or Meredith wanted to talk to Heather privately, because maybe she wanted to admit some things, like maybe she was having a little bit of a problem with alcohol or pills or something, that, and didn't want it all on camera because she has to have a business or two, and she's a professional, I guess, and professional DJ. I guess, you know, I get it though. Just not every time. I mean, not everybody's as open as some people. Jacks. I needed to get a drink. I mean, I know. You think it's horrible? I think it's good so far, though. Yeah, that, and still haven't seen the free parking situation where Meredith hits Brittany, allegedly. Lauren. I mean, I think it's a good season. I'm not, you know, we don't want toxic mess, right? But we also we want conflict resolution. But yeah, they're forcing these people to hang out. You're right. I mean, we're on the like 18th episode, I think. We're definitely at the halfway mark, because we're at the Cash trip. And you're right, all I can think of is the plane incident at this point. We kind of started out on a camping trip, which seems like a very long time ago. But in the meantime, we went through the whole Lisa situation. I mean, we're still dealing with the Lisa and Angie of it all, kind of. Bronwyn, we went through a little bit of Bronwyn with her finances. Yeah, like it doesn't really stand out. You know what I mean? Nothing really stands out. But this episode, I think, is pretty good. Let me get back to my notes. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah. So Lisa's just like, let's talk about the real issue, and she just says it. And, you know, how everybody feels. She knows how everybody feels. And she just like points it out. And Heather's like, why do you feel, Meredith, that you're always, you know, why are you always Meredith says, I feel like, Whitney, that you're projecting your feelings onto me about mental health and drug abuse or pill or alcoholism, and then Whitney, she's like, I'm projecting it on you, and she's like, yes, you're projecting your lies on me, and she's like, help me understand. And then Whitney's like, I'm just trying to tell you how I feel. Like, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Like, I'm sorry that you don't like, you know, that I care about you as a friend. And I, you know, she's like, I apologize for you. But anyway, the next thing, you know, they're all here. They all get there, right? And right there. Seriously. So yeah, they get there, and Meredith goes to eat. Goes to the cooking class, and the other half of them go on the donkey ride, right? So they get off the sprinter van, and they walk up this long, like, I don't know what it is, a cobblestone thing, and they meet this guy up there, and his name is Giovanni, and he's the cooking guy. He's the one who's going to give them the cooking class. Everybody gives them a big hug, and they all kiss him hello, and half of them walk off to go get donkey stuff, and the other half go to do cooking class. Another thing, Meredith walks also, for some reason, she walks away from the group. I forget what happens, but she walks away, and it's like as soon as they get there, and everybody's like, where is she going? I'm sorry, because what happens on the sprinter van, she doesn't even walk up, she just walks away. And it's like, I feel like she's trying to quit. So I literally feel like at this point, like it's another whole situation with Tamara, with Kyle did. Like, you don't get to just get up and fucking leave and take 2 weeks off because you fucking feel like it. Because you don't like how everybody's calling you out for shit. You know what I mean? So she walks off, and it looks like she's about to get an Uber, but she doesn't because she can't find one. She's like, I just want to be with my son and my family. And I just want to be my son and my family. And I can't stand these women. They don't love me. They don't want to be with me. And like, she's doing basically, at least thinking she's walking around on the cobblestones. And then you see Lisa. Lisa's being all chummy and great. She's like, look at the donkeys. Oh my God, they're so cute. Oh, donkey, little donkey. I love you, donkey. Oh, donkeys. I love the donkeys. She's like, oh, can I name him? What's his name? Is he a nice one? And she's like, everybody looks good standing next to an ass. And it's like, okay, you're cute. Whatever. Basically, Lisa's having a good time. Meredith tries to call an Uber. Lisa gets on the donkey, and then you see them all walking through the cobblestone streets with the donkeys. And everybody's like in a good mood, which is cool. And it's, again, everybody's in a good mood, and it's why, because Meredith is there. The women are hanging out with Giovanni, learning how to cook or some shit like that. And the other ladies are riding donkeys around. They're going to meet up with the other ladies to eat dinner. So they're all going to eat together the food that the other ladies make. So now I want to ride a donkey too, because it looked like fun. And they look really cute, like horses, kind of. And then Lisa's like, I feel bad for it. Oh my God, I feel so bad for it. Should I really be riding it? And she's like, I guess. Yeah. And Angie's like, I took riding lessons. And then she's going through, as they're riding the donkey, she's giving everybody a history lesson. And she's talking about her dad used to ride a donkey just every day. I'm really happy because the way she says it. Like, then he came to America and got rich, And then she's like, in the confessional, we were, these people are riding donkeys, and my dad's riding a donkey, and here we are, we're riding Range Rovers and Porsches. And she's like, my dad used to ride a donkey every day. I was Mary. Mary feels bad for the donkeys. That's what it was. Mary's like, this poor donkey. Oh my God, I feel like I'm hurting him. She's like, I didn't think I was gonna, I don't know. I don't like this donkey. Is he okay? And then the other ladies are sitting down and learning how to cook. Like I said, they're all meeting up together at the end. But then as they're sitting down at the table, like after they get done cooking, here comes Meredith. She sits down at the table. And she's like, I had no choice. I don't know where else to go. I couldn't get an Uber. And so it's Whitney, Heather, Meredith, and Brittany. And the other ones are all the donkeys. So it's some kind of like, there's kind of like eggplant and then like meat. It looked really good. And so Giovanni he walks over, he's like, and Meredith is sitting there all like puss-faced. And as soon as he says, are you okay? She almost starts to cry. Well, she does start to cry. And she tells him, the women haven't been very nice to me. They just haven't been. And he's like looking at her all confused. And like, I think he expected her to be like, no, I'm fine. And he's like, and she's like, they haven't. And he's like, oh, no, everybody nice. And he's like, here, have some wine. And she starts to cry. And she's like, Brooks was on a flight, and it's the only time I had to talk to him. And she's like literally sobbing, and she's like, and then they're all like rolling their eyes, and then everybody's like, God forbid, Meredith. And somebody finally, I don't know if it's Heather or Brittany, says, why are you acting like you're using this as a free pass to get off of your accountability and blah 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 blah. And she's like, she's like, I'm not allowed to upset for 5 minutes. And Heather's like, you've been upset for 3 weeks. And yeah. And she's like, I didn't get to talk to Brooks. That's it. I didn't get to talk to Brooks. And everybody's like, we knew we were going to be here on Mother's Day. And she's like, I'm sorry you lost your opportunity to speak to Brooks. And then here come Lisa and the rest of them and Mary and all coming up on their donkeys to sit down to eat. And basically the whole group is just sitting there. And like, Lisa's the only one that's sticking up for Meredith, basically. And everybody's like, you got to stop doing this, Lisa. It's not your responsibility, Lisa. And like basically down her for sticking up for Meredith. And then she's like, I'm always going to stick up for Meredith. She's always had my back. And like, all I can think about is the hot mic movement. You know what I mean? And Angie's like, you literally need to step back and let Meredith fight her own battles. And then Lisa's like, Angie just needs to shut the fuck up. She's like starting to get mad about this. And then Broman says that Meredith and Heather need to figure it out for themselves. And Lisa's like, I'm a great friend of Meredith, and I'm going to continue to stand by her. And, Mary's like, I don't know how to defend Meredith anymore. And she's like, then Mary starts to get upset. She's like, I think there's something wrong with her. I feel like something's just off. And nobody says anything. They just kind of look at her. And Mary's like, I just like something's off. I don't know what the deal. Something's wrong with her. We know what all she's insinuating, but and she's like, I think we're all insinuating the same thing. But I like the fact that Lisa was willing to stick up for Meredith, even though like Mike movement all happened and all. And then the whole thing also with her mental health and sobriety, if she recognizes that Meredith is having an issue, she knows this is serious and like it's not for everybody to just bring it up right now or to talk about it all the time. And just as far as that, with that, I have to be on Meredith's side because I feel like she did try to talk to Heather. This is all just coming down to Heather wanting to keep it going. And Dana says all women hate her. Hate Lisa. So like they're not going to like. And they think that Meredith is one of the ones that's like feeding all their information. They think Lisa and both of them are the ones feeding all the information to the blogs. But now we're back at the dinner where the women are all sitting down to eat again, like I said. And she finally starts to calm down. Everybody's drinking wine and like they cheers to their friendships. And Lisa's like, everybody had so much fun riding the donkeys. And Heather's like, did you guys have more fun? Or you guys have more fun than we did? You guys seem like you have more energy than we do. And she's like, well, Meredith, what's wrong? And she's again, she starts crying about Brooks. And she's like, it just would have been nice to talk to my kid on Mother's Day. And then, like they said, it's like she's like Heather's like, that's not true, Meredith, you know what you're upset about, and that whole thing goes on and on about, she's using it as an excuse. And like she's like, I'm allowed to be upset for 5 minutes, and Lisa's like, we just need to get right back down to ground zero. And she's like, it all comes back down to Heather, Whitney, and Meredith. And when she tries to talk to Meredith, Whitney's like, let me just apologize to you, Meredith. I'm sorry that I called you a pill popper and an alcoholic. And then Meredith's like, thank you for that. She doesn't, and then she's like, but that doesn't take away from my concern for you. And she's like, this is not going to get us anywhere. And then they start joking around with Heather too, and she's like, you should get Giovanni's number. And they all eat, cheers, and that's it. And then they get on the sprinter van, of course, back on the sprinter van after dinner. And then Lisa says, she's like, I'm so tired. It's Heather, you got too much energy for me. And then they start talking about this like 10-2, I don't know. Again, why the fuck are we talking about poop and farts and shit? Like this is like the third time that we're talking about people going to the bathroom. So whatever this 10-2-1 thing is, they try to ask Meredith to say it, and they try to joke around about it with her. And she wakes up for half a minute. She's like half asleep, and she's like, yeah, that was fun. And I don't know. And that's the part where Meredith, where Mimir says, I agree with you. She looked like she was nodded out. She could have been. We're halfway through the episode, but it seems like, Meredith starts to lighten up a little bit. But then the whole, the Palestine thing, I hate saying it, but yeah. I don't know. It's got to be towards the end. Watch it be like the very end. Watch it be like one of the last episodes. Because everything that we thought that we heard was going to happen has happened except for that. we didn't hear about the plane incident. And they said at the reunion that they said that they do have footage of what happened on the plane. Again, which I get pissed off about because it's like the eighth housewife is trying to like literally fuck with us. But all right, so then they get back to the house and they decide, which is cool, is they're all gonna go get their bathing suits on because it's a little bit early still in the day. They're all gonna get their bathing suits on, go by the pool, and have fun. So they all go and they get their swimsuits on. They all look amazing in their bikinis. And of course, Meredith walks out and she's in a blazer bikini, like a jacket blazer bikini. And everybody's like, oh yeah. And she shows up. She comes out. She jokes around. She takes her jacket off. They joke around with her about it, and everybody gets along. And this is like what I like. They're all having a good time. And then she's like, it's time for a reset. Let's all have some fun. And shoot, like everybody gets in the pool with each other and they play what's it called? Chicken, and then they race. And then Angie and Heather decide to walk off by themselves, which I think was rude as fuck. But what they do is they put on Meredith's bikini and they walk out and they try to act like her. Meredith doesn't get mad at it. They basically like joke around with her and act like her and put her stupid bikini on and act like she's all professional. Yeah. And Angie has a hard time putting on Meredith's bikini because Meredith's pretty skinny. And Angie's, I guess, not. Anyway. But then all of a sudden roses show up for Meredith and they're from Brooks and Chloe. And then somebody said, I think it was Angie, says, I don't like flowers. Flowers die. And it's like, oh my God, we just got over her not being able to talk to Brooks. She's all happy. And they start talking about like high school stuff. Like, when was your first kiss? And like, what was the hottest thing? Like, what was the hot or who was the hottest guy you ever hooked up with in high school? Did you ever change outfits? And, like when you get to school, which we did, we always did that. We would, Jen would literally completely be covered when our outfits were underneath, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden, then Meredith walks off by herself, which we don't know where she went. But they talk about kissing girls and stuff like that. Lisa's like joking, laughing, and Lisa's get along with everyone. First kisses, they talk about first base. And Brittany goes, I haven't been with a lot of guys, but I've kissed over, she's like 367 men. And I'm like, why is she such a fucking teenager? Why does she? And she's like, I have it marked down. Like, what is she serious? She's like, I never go past first base. So you were teased, basically. It's like, who is this chick? Like, I don't know. She's so immature. Like, why would you even count it? You're like married twice. Then Meredith comes right back and they talk about like, what's the first rule you ever broke? And she's like, I had a party, which again, everybody has parties. I had a party when my parents went away and they broke some really expensive dish and that's how they got caught. And they're like, yeah, let's all tell our stories, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, all right, well, it's nightlife is really good around here. Let's all let's go get showered and get ready and go out. Which is, how like amazing it is when you're all tan all day. Like you're out, you get tan, and then you like wear your you get a shower to go out and you're like freshly tan, fresh makeup. It just is like so amazing. It's the best feeling ever. So yeah, they all get dressed up and then they put their hooker outfits on. And Mary decides she's not gonna go. So Angie comes in and tucks her in. And Mary's like, I'm just tired. I know I don't feel like going and I need rest. So then Lisa and Bronwyn start talking about the friendship contract thing. And basically they look like they should be going to the Jersey Boardwalk instead of where they're at. Like, honestly, they all look like they're they should be at the Jersey Shore. They're going to the club. That's what they look like to me. They look like they're going to the Jersey Shore. But then they go to the Sprinter van again. And they all get in and Meredith has on her hot pink DJ suit, jade looking suit. So in the Sprinter van, so Brittany starts talking about something. Wait, hold on. Yeah, they're in the Sprinter van. This is good. And I don't know. They get to like start talking about like Brittany's hair or something. And Lisa's like, I have like Lisa said, Brittany's trademarking high body count hair. And then Angie gets mad. So like basically the high body count hair. Wait, let's see what back to you guys are at. So they get off the Sprinter van, right? And they go to sit down and eat. And all of a sudden, Angie starts telling Brittany that her hair's too long for her age. And it comes up again, like, you know, the high body count hair. And then Brittany's like, well, guess what? I trademarked high body count hair. And Angie starts getting mad. So they start arguing about this. And it's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not to call it out and call her weird for it. And she's like, it's just fucking weird. You should be embarrassed. And they start fighting about who high body count hair should belong to. And then even Lisa like chimes in. And they get on Brittany, and they start telling her how her hair is too long for her age. And then Lisa's like, my hair's longer than hers, and I'm older than her. And she's like, yeah, but it's just something about your 90s hair. So she starts talking about her looks. And then Heather and Whitney both chime in and go, look, we shouldn't be talking about people's looks, and you shouldn't be talking about people's looks, Angie. Which Angie shocks me in this moment. And she's like, you know, you trademarking high body count hair, it's so embarrassing. Like, I can't believe that you would actually do that. And Brittany's like, I don't care. You call me weird, embarrassing all you want. I don't give a shit. I'm not embarrassed. You're just mad because you didn't think of it first. And she's like, you know, it doesn't matter. You have nasty. She's like, Brittany's like, it's my hair. And she's like swirling her hair around. And their Angie's like, it's just like, you know what? She's like, your 90s fucking hair. She's like, I don't care. It's just your character. She's like, your character should be fucking embarrassed. Like, I can't believe you go and trademark something. And somebody's like, you didn't even come up with it. And Brittany's like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you. So then they go to sit down again. So they go to this place called Club Tango. So their thing was called, and they go to the Tango. They're sitting down again, and it's overlooking like the amazing, like I guess it's called, like wherever they're at. Santorini or whatever. They look actually really pretty. They look like they're starting to have a good time. And then Meredith goes, well, I have a new business venture to tell you, and I'm so confused about it. I don't know what it is. Something to do with Bronwyn and Ting Ting Ting, and something about a cover for your drink. Did you understand what the hell they were talking about? You think it is? So you think? But even though it's Brittany's hair that was the high body count hair, you know what I mean? Yeah, she did look like she has a pity party. See, like, I like the high body count hair. I don't know. Why don't they share it? They should share it. Don't you think they should share it? You know? Like, what if you said to me, like, yeah, like, you complimenting my hair, or like my hair, but you say something about my hair, it becomes a thing. And then I trademark it. I don't know. Like, what would be intellectual property? See, Leah, I don't know what that means, but you're probably right. And then that Ting Ting Ting, wouldn't that belong to Bronwyn? I mean, Brittany, the Ting 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 thing? Like, I didn't know what that means. She's like, now you see it, now you don't. Like, it's a cover for their something. I don't know. I was like, whatever. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but sure. They should do, like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. See, but then I didn't like how Angie was putting Brittany down, like calling her names and stuff, saying her hair is nasty and stuff. But like, again, like the whole intellectual property, yeah. So then why would she even be allowed to trademark it if it's not hers, you know? Or like, you can trademark anything, I guess, right? As long as it's not already trademarked. Like, I want to trademark who started you on podcasts. So Andy can't use it anymore, or he can't turn it into a podcast. Yeah, and my point exactly. Angie got mad because she didn't think of it first. Exactly. So I guess you can trademark anything, but yeah. I mean, what do you think about the Meredith stuff? Did you, reality connoisseur? Do you think Meredith is wanting to talk to Heather, but just wants to talk to her privately, and that's why she just doesn't respond to her when she wants to talk to her there? Because she's like, she did try to talk to her, and she wanted to to Baby, like admit some things to her that like she didn't want on camera, which I can understand. Because if Heather wants to sit there and say it's because she's so upset because they're such good friends and she deserves better than that. Well, your friend deserves better than you saying it on camera then. Take the hint that she doesn't want to talk about it on camera. And I'm sure Heather probably, I'm sure Meredith might have said that to her, but I also think that Heather and Meredith are the ones that were leaking. I say Lisa, I think Lisa is too. See, it's either Meredith and Heather or Lisa that was leaking stuff to the press about the other women. And I think it might be Lisa, and I think that see, I don't know why. See, I can't figure out why Whitney and Heather have teamed up. They want to get rid of Lisa. And I think they were trying to they all were trying to get that done in the beginning of the season. It didn't work. So they kind of moved on from it. And I think they realized that she wasn't going to go anywhere. So now then they started going after Meredith. And I think that Meredith might have been in on what Heather and Lisa were doing, like in the press. And that's why she's not giving Heather any, like, I don't know, attention on camera. I don't know. I know, how ridiculous was she acting? Like, she is, and I think she might be recognizing that, but she doesn't want to admit to it on camera. I don't know. I don't know what to do. And I think if she does hit Brittany, or attempts to hit Brittany, then she's gonna have to go. Because then it's like, how many times are you going to go? Like, I think she tried to fuck with her on the plane, like literally with her seat and shit. Which again, like, if I can't hit you, I'm gonna cry too. You know what I mean? I'll be so mad that I'm just gonna make me cry, like Brittany. Like, it's not like Brittany's a little pussy. It's just that she couldn't fucking do nothing to you, bitch. Because she doesn't want to get arrested. She's got ass. And here you are spilling shit on her on the plane. And again, everybody tried to tell Meredith her better behavior. And again, I think that she has some things to admit to. She just doesn't want to do it, obviously, on camera, and I don't blame her. But, Heather needs to chill with the calling her out and shit. She's tried. It didn't work. Meredith obviously doesn't think that Whitney's her friend either. So Whitney needs to just stop too, because she did apologize to her, but I don't know if Whitney's really concerned for Meredith. The way that Meredith is, the way that Dana's making it sound, it's that everybody wants to get rid of Meredith, but so that happens. And it's like Brittany, like the whole Tintin thing, I get confused with all that Angie's telling Brittany how bad her hair looks. And it's like, again, Roman jumps in and she's like, it is weird for you to trademark that. And, Angie's like, for somebody to call you she called her a slut. She basically called her a slut. And Brittany sticks up for herself, which again, I'm glad that she did. But, Whitney's like, I have a high body count outfit, and they all start laughing. And basically that's the end of the thing. And then Lisa's like, Brittany, are you okay? And Brittany is like, yeah, fine. And Lisa's like, well, that's all that matters. And like, I think at the time, in the moment, Brittany didn't want to say, again, like, you just called me a slut and I'm upset. But remember when she did that last season and Meredith lost her mind on Angie for calling Brittany a slut? It's Brittany and Angie, the whole trademark thing. I just felt like Angie was mad that she had to give her, but she didn't have to go after Brittany's looks. It's fucking ignorant. And that was the end of this episode. So, according to Dana, too, with the whole Todd thing, last week when Brittany acted like she didn't tell the women that this whole thing would happen with Todd. Todd's on the plane getting caught looking at other women. But in all fairness, they've been separated since 2016, and we just found out. So her announcing it in the press, oh, we're separated, is bullshit. You guys were never even living together. He's been traveling. And did you guys know that Bronwyn was married before Todd? I had no idea. I was like, well, I don't know who she was married to. Dana brought it up, but I didn't know that. So if Brittany has bad hair, then I have bad. Her hair's like, it's not. I can see what Angie's talking about. It's just a little it's not curly or not straight. You know what I mean? Sometimes it looks pretty. I mean, Brittany looked really good on one of the Watch What Happens lives. Do they have an after show for this show? Let's see. Let's look up. Yeah, Meredith may not return next season. Let's see. It says Meredith and Marks may not be featured on the upcoming seventh season of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City due to behavior she exhibited on season 6. Following a controversial moment that reportedly took place between her and her co-star Brittany Bateman, 54, during which she was accused of humiliating Brittany, 54, and leaving her in tears. Sources suggested that an impending cast shakeup could leave the series without Meredith. Many people are having issues with Meredith Marks and don't want to film with her currently, given what went on this season. An insider to close production alleged to Radar Online. Meredith's issues with Brittany reached a high note when the latter mentioned a possible indiscretion by her. We know about all this. It slipped into sleep and was awoken by Meredith raging and making a scene, Heather says. Mary also spoke of the incident. Meredith started reliving what Brittany said, starting getting upset and starting to go off. And then, she just dwelled on it for hours and hours and hours. Meanwhile, Brittany was humiliated and bawling her eyes off. I just couldn't take it anymore. I've been never treated like that in my life. According to an insider, no one knows what decisions will be made, but Meredith, the speculation is that she won't return. The rumors were floating around that she was downgraded, and she rejected that. She rejected that move. I won't be surprised if she doesn't return. I mean, there's an incident that happens after that we haven't even seen yet. I don't know what these articles. Stupid. We knew all this already. What else we got? Oh, Salt Lake City. Yeah. Well. Anything going on in the Bravo land? Can you believe they have a spreadsheet for their friendship things? Like, what's going on in Bravo land? Oh, hello. Thanks for popping in. When you get live again. Yeah, I was just talking about the Housewives of Salt Lake City. Brittany has bad. I know. Well, I can send you some Keratos treatments. I don't personally care for it. I don't like that. See, I'm not all for flat hair either, as you can tell. Like, I have to have my curlers in and all. But I just feel like Brittany's hair is a little, I don't know. I mean, it looks good when she curls it and stuff. Meredith looks plain as day. Did you see who we pulled up her DJ stuff the other day? It just doesn't look right. Not at all. What's going on Instagram? Anything? Nothing going on over here. I mean, Meredith's style is getting a little bit better, but even her bathing suit is a business suit. What is, like, why? We had the regular business suits the first one season. Then she had the skirt business suits with the heels and the boots. And now we have the bathing suit business suit, like bikini business suit. I don't know what the poop stuff is about. Why are we talking about poop and stuff? I don't want to talk about poop. All right, I'm back to work. What time do you get done? Do you want to do a show tonight? You know what about? Ugly Christmas Sweater is on Monday, though. Monday night, okay? If you guys aren't there, I'll be very upset. So you better be there, be square. Ugly Christmas Sweater. And you have to come up on stage. Come up on stage. Come up and show me you're wearing it. I'm gonna are you? Oh, Twiz, jeez. Please let me be there. I love Twiz. Twiz and I really love Twiz. Trying to get Willie back into it. I'm trying to get Willie back on. I'm trying to talk him into it. He's not very happy these days. Like, Robert, I have a theory. Do you remember I don't know if you remember if you were watching Millie or not, Remember when he was talking about talking to Brian's dad, and he wanted to, tell Brian, we were like supportive, blah blah blah. I'm starting to think that he got the news he didn't want, news he didn't want to hear from Brian's dad, and he just doesn't want to say it or doesn't believe it, if you know what I mean. And then you know what that would be, right? Like, say he says his son's guilty or something, right? Or there's something that we didn't know, because he's not very he doesn't want to talk about things at all, at all. And it's weird, and it's like he almost gets mad if I say that Brian. I'm like, come just talk, you don't have to voice your opinion, or I don't know. He doesn't. He's like, if I'm not talking about that case, and I don't want to. I'm like, why aren't you talking about the case? And he won't say anything. I want to ask him, did you maybe hear something that you don't want to hear? Because all of a sudden he just done with it. He's also has personal stuff going on too, I get, but everybody asks for him, and I was like, even to talk about reality TV then, he's been off. He stopped. I don't let him go 4 days without checking in, but it's been a month at least that he's been on. He took his grandmom got sick, and then she got better, but then he had some personal things going on. And then Leah's off for Christmas break, and also, I mean, this week it'd be tough because Leah's been off. She was off for Thanksgiving and Christmas break, being a school dad and all. Girl dad that he is. But say a prayer for him. He's got some things he's got to work on, some things he's doing, but again, I thought maybe too with the case, I thought that had something to do with it, but he's my ride or die. Yeah, would always go with him and do his lives with him. Miss him. I mean, I talked to him on the phone, but it's not the same. It's not the same being on a channel with him, being on a panel with him on his channel. He'd be devastated if Brian was guilty. He knows them, he knows the family, he knows his parents. He's from the area. And he's really upset. This case really got to him because, I honestly feel like Brian, I don't know what I think anymore. I don't know why Brian got wrapped up in this, but there's got to be a reason. They've got to have him connected to it somehow, some way. I just don't know why they would pick him. I don't know. It's so fucked up, though. Not one thing filed as an appeal that we know. But the thing is that even if he was there, there's so much goddamn. There's so much. But Bravo Land, anything going on, guys? Anything going on Bravo Land? I know I'm missing something. It's Friday, some shit had to go down. Let's see what's going on in Bravo Land. Bravo News. Oh, well, Adam's live was supposed to be today, but it was actually yesterday, and I missed it. I was going to go into it. But he doesn't even have his replay. His live chat doesn't replay while he's live. It's from his lives. I wanted to see who was in it. Let's see. Oh, I hear some stuff about Dylan about Roman and Todd's separation from the Ringer. It says the morally corrupt Bravo show. News with Dylan Hafer, Bronwyn. I don't know who Dylan Hafer is. Bronwyn and Todd's separation. Jen Shaw's release. Let's see. Oh. That's just never mind. That's just a podcast. Hold on. Southern Charm. Oh yeah, we'll talk about Southern Charm on Monday and Beverly Hills on Monday. Enraged. Okay. Oh my God! What? What is this? So salty. Our Salt Lake fans are enraged after the show goes off the air for weeks without warning in the middle of the Grease trip. What? Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is taking a 3-week break. The last new episode aired on Tuesday with a preview for the next episode. Why is it going on? However, it appears fans will have to wait some time before seeing more of the cast's trip to Greece, as the series will go dark after the holidays. According to Bravo's website, new episodes won't air for the next couple of weeks, despite them normally dropping weekly. episodes on Tuesday and Wednesdays. It's assumed that they will return after the new year as a TV instead of reported after new episodes won't air as usual on Tuesday until won't air as usual on Tuesday, December 30th. Bravo has not officially announced the Salt Lake's extended hiatus, and they have yet to post the schedule beyond December. Hi. Still, devoted fans are not happy about that. I mean, that does not usually happen around the holidays. Once again, I'm asking Bravo if they will tune in. I cannot think of a better time for my family to watch Housewives. Somebody said my kids are off, and I work usually. I will need my shows, so people are pissed. I wish I never saw this post. It's getting on my nerves. I'm so upset. I mean, how am I supposed to make it through the holidays? So wait, are all the fucking Bravo shows taking hiatus? Others suspected that the long break was to ensure that viewers have their attention when the holidays return. Whatever. The juicy trailer for the next episode, I want to pay because it looks pretty good. Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of weird. All right, let's go to the previews then. Nice. Okay. All right, let's go to the. By the way, are you like going with the feathers and stuff? I'm so excited. I'm so excited to wear them. I know. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So excited. Like, I know. I'll be such a hippie, and the feathers in my hair, guys. I'm turning into a hippie, guys. I sent some of the stuff should be here today. Yeah, send me some gossip if you can, and I'm gonna read this thing. I'm not reading. I'm gonna look for the preview. Oh no! Oh no! I thought I just did this live. Oh my god, they got me the other day. I don't know for what though. The reunion looks horrible. Wait, videos. I think we watched it already, didn't we? Oh, Robert Jr. pleaded guilty the other day. They do have an after show. Yeah. Let's watch it. I'm gonna play it back on extended speed. I don't know where large is. I called her. I told her I missed her. Okay. Is my fan too loud? Should have answered a long time ago.
One of my favorite things we did because I literally felt like I was in this man's kitchen. Hello.
My name is Giovanni, and welcome, to our cooking lesson.
We were on a ridge with the wind blowing. It was Mother's Day without kids, which is the best way to celebrate.
And we didn't really cook. We just ate. I don't know how much of a cooking class it actually was, but it was beautiful to sit and have him share the culture with us.
Did everyone get along?
Yeah. Meredith was in true, quiet, I'm going to come for you mode the entire time. She was not happy because it was Mother's Day, actually. But we were all moms and we were all missing our kids.
Tell me about the cooking class.
It was fine. It was not anything spectacular. It was rather exhausting. I was basically being berated into making out with Whitney.
And so I'm sorry that I called you those names, Meredith.
Berated.
Okay, great. So I was like, all right, fine, whatever. I didn't take it for much. I just was like, okay, let's see if she can maintain peace for more than a day.
It was really weird because Whitney, Heather, and I were like, Opa, living it up and eating the food, and Meredith was just sulking in the corner.
The wine makes us so happy.
But by the end, Meredith did end up smiling and having fun. And Heather flirted with the guy the whole time. Yeah.
Every moment feels like a fantasy. And I think that's why it's hard to like even remember back, because it's like, did I dream that? Was that real? You know, like making delicious food in Greece. It was amazing.
And handsome men.
Handsome men that he had such strong hands, and he would just like, oh,
Look how strong. You're so strong. That's heavy.
he was flirting with anyone and everybody. I thought we had something going on, but apparently he's like that with everybody. That guy was just having a good time. I don't think it was going anywhere. And he had this apron and the whole thing. I was just like in Eat, Pray, Love, but in Greece.
Eat, pray, fight.
Eat, pray, fight, console, get back on the horse, all of it.
I loved our donkey ride and just seeing Angie in her element. I mean, all I ever hear is that Angie is Greek, and we finally got to see her in her natural habitat. It's very scary, you know, going up those little teeny streets and the donkey were slipping, but it was just so beautiful to do something that felt so like old world in this historic location. It was so fun.
Is anybody else not enjoying this besides me?
Why don't you like it, Mary?
I don't know if that was my favorite part. I just felt bad for my donkey. Then he was hot, but he was cute. He was a little boy, and I kept saying good boy, and they made him walk down all these stairs, and he was backing up. But I have to say I enjoyed it. But I just wish they were horses, maybe.
Not upstairs? No.
I'm good.
First and last.
Yeah, hopefully.
No unicorn in Greece. What is your status with Jared? You knew that question was coming.
I didn't know that was coming. What? What? His ears are burning right now.
Yeah, right.
We're friends. That's our official title. The title is made by me. I typed it out and printed it out and labeled it friends.
Stupid.
Friends. We're just friends. We're best friends. But seriously, we are just friends. And I don't want
Are
any
you
more than that.
engaged?
And it will never be any more than that.
Why?
It's essentially you guys are friends. Like you see him in your life
Yeah,
going
well,
forward.
For now, yes. And there might come a time when
Neither.
friends part ways. And I just don't want it to be under non-amicable circumstances. Is that a word? Non-amicable? Unamicable? I want it to be amicable circumstances that we say goodbye, if we ever just do say goodbye. And we've had so many toxic breakups and get back together, and it's just been so drama filled. It's really nice right now that it's not drama filled. It's just we're friends. There's nothing
You're right.
to complain about. I don't expect any commitment, and I'm not getting any commitment. He doesn't expect me to want commitment, and he's not getting any nagging about commitment. You know what I mean? We're friends. And it's a really healthy, good spot to be in.
It does seem like there is a lot of communication between you two. So maybe
Yeah.
talk about like how open you guys are with each other about your feelings.
We are completely open. Like that's the beauty of it. Like whether I want to hear it or not, he tells me the truth, and whether he wants to hear it or not, I tell him the truth. And I think that is priority number
He
one
doesn't
in any
think
kind of
it's
relationship. Anything, parent-child, friendships, lovers, situationships, anything. You have to just be brutally honest. And then if you're honest, you can go from there. But it has to start with honesty, and we're really, really honest with each other. He knows exactly where I stand. I know exactly where he stands. And
Yeah.
we talk about it all the time.
Who is the right guy for Brittany? Like if you could manifest him.
The other day, I was telling Todd, Brittany has been very chatty with me lately. We've developed like this. She's almost like a kid sister to me, a kid sister who could, you know, be my mother. Our age range is difficult for a kid sister vibe. And Todd said she just needs somebody really nice and really stable. Like that's just, and I was like, I know. I don't know anybody really nice or really stable though, so I can't be the one to set her up.
Who would be the right guy for Brittany?
I don't know. I think Brittany needs to find who Brittany is first and figure out
Sure.
what she loves and what she likes and fix it with her kids and maybe figure out her life and get strong into
Sure.
what she wants and then bring a guy in. But right now, I think she just probably needs to focus on learning who Brittany is.
Sure. Well, there you go. Jack's update. Okay, cool. Gmail, you said. Jack's update, good. What is this? What is this? Gmail. Oh, you guys are still there, right? Gmail. Hi. No, there's nothing new. Same thing. Okay, she says it's basically I can't talk about it. Fingers crossed. She said still not final. On December 12th. She said revealed that the procedure is ongoing, still not final. Hopefully within the month revealed. I mean, this has just been a process. A lot of things, obviously, I can't talk about yet. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it'll happen soon. The mother of two addressed her dating life. No, she didn't want to say anything about it. Nothing. Same thing she said at BravoCon. No update. Gives a huge update. No, she doesn't. Why do people lie? Reality Blurb is a liar. Reality T is a liar. She didn't say shit. There are indications that Jack would drag out the worst we know. Blah, blah, blah. Nope. She revealed same thing she said at BravoCon. She can't talk about it. I talk about her dating life. I can't believe these stories are so fucking made up. These friggin' stories that I thought, like the reality TV and all that, if you really read them, they're nothing. They're nothing burgers. The same thing that we see. We've already seen the things they talk about. Like we know what she said. We know what the fuck said. We same thing she said at BravoCon. She can't talk about what's going on with Jax. We know. It's a huge update. Isn't it crazy? I'm telling you, what I was saying to you in that message, I'm getting a little pissed off at these fucking people. Like, I could do better than that. You know what I mean? I can come up with a better fucking story than that. I mean, there's nothing to tell. That's okay. Nick Reiner's been diagnosed. Oh, really? Oh, wow. 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 Is that a story? Somebody saw, I guess they saw. Oh, man. Is there like a, man, we could watch the hearing or something. Was there a hearing on it or something? Like, God, people always ask about Jax. And she can't say. People need to stop asking her. And then they should, like, reality should be like ashamed of themselves. Like, she didn't give a fuck. It's like a huge update, it says. That is not a huge update. The same thing. That's crazy. These people are crazy. It's nothing. I don't know, man. Maybe it's me. Maybe that's just the things that people don't, I don't know. The insanity play. Let's see. Let's look up Nick Reiner stuff because it's just fucking wild. Poor guy. I'm smelling something burning. Not that, no. I got something in my fucking eye. I can't get it out. No. Nope, no. Sorry, hold on, guys. Well, here it is, TMZ. Of course, TMZ. All right, let's play it. I'm laughing at the hidden true crime chick. She's not Lauren. Okay, Griner hearing.
Based on the
Now let's see if this is real too. See what they say.
information we now have, Nick Reiner is not going to plead guilty to these murders. He is going to plead not guilty by reason of insanity, and here's why. We have learned that Nick Reiner was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and he was under the care of a psychiatrist and receiving meds. His behavior in the month before the murders, and this is a quote from sources with direct knowledge, was erratic and dangerous. He went to an LA rehab facility in the time before the murders. He had been to a number, but in particular, this one that specializes in treating mental illness. It's really expensive. It costs $70,000 a month. Lots of rich, powerful parents send their kids to this facility who have mental illness, and Nick was there. In the 3 to 4 weeks, and this is so important, in the 3 to 4 weeks leading up to the murders, Nick's medications were changed. And they were changed because he was exhibiting more and more erratic and dangerous behavior. But when they were changed, they weren't right. And it was making him, as one source put it, crazy. And the doctors were trying to adjust the meds, but it wasn't working. And he was getting more and more erratic.
No, what he was fucking diagnosed with and what he was on.
In addition to that, Nick was abusing substances, and we're told the substance abuse worsened the schizophrenia. So all of this paints a picture of someone. In fact, these words were used to us by one of these sources with direct knowledge, that he was, quote, out of his head at the time of the murders. So based on everything I know, this is not going to be a case where they contest that Nick did it. I think they're going to concede it. I don't know that for a fact, but all of the dots that we now have to connect lead us to this is not going to be a not guilty plea. I didn't do it. This is going to be, at least at this point, based on everything we know, without saying more about sources, if I were a betting man, I would say this is a not guilty by reason of insanity. To prove that, you have to show that there is a mental disease, which there is here. You have to show as a result of that mental disease, the person did not understand the nature and quality of their act, or that it was legally or morally wrong. So that's going to be the big issue in this case, I think. Was this legally or morally wrong? Look, it has worked before. It worked with John Hinckley. And as a matter of fact, John Hinckley spent years in a mental institution and was released when doctors said he was okay. So it is very different from somebody going to prison for a crime. Nick, I don't believe, is going to dispute this. I mean, everything we're seeing, I don't think that's going to happen. But this is feeling like a real case of where he will plead, at least, not guilty by reason of insanity. That doesn't mean that the jury's going to automatically buy it. But I just told you what the elements are. And if you want to talk about a mental disease, we're told he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And then the question is, did he understand the nature of what he was doing? Based on our sources, there will at least be people testifying that he really didn't understand anything. He was just zoned out of his head. It does kind of also explain his behavior at the Conan O'Brien Christmas party, where everything we're hearing is that he was just in another world and he was acting strangely, as we reported, got in a big argument with his dad, and this is hours before the murders occurred. But he was erratic, not just that night, but many days before that. So to be determined. But right now, clearly, both the defense and the police are working to investigate the circumstances surrounding the murders, and that involves, the murder weapon. It involves Nick's conduct and all. But this increasingly is feeling like a case where the defense will argue not guilty by reason of insanity.
Damn. Brown shooter found dead. Wow. Okay.
Hey guys, thanks so much for checking out my show. Really, really appreciate it. Please click to subscribe. I appreciate all your support. I'm in Providence, Rhode Island right now. This behind me, this is the building where the Brown University shooting happened. It's actually this memorial out here. You can see all these flowers behind me and pictures of the victims. It's really, really sad. But all of the pieces have come together now. I just sat through the entire press conference. I asked the mayor questions. I asked the attorney general questions. The suspect is dead. What led to his arrest is really, really interesting. And I'm going to lay out all the puzzle pieces here. This is someone who is from Portugal. And not only is he connected to the shooting that happened here at Brown University, but he is also connected to the murder of the professor at MIT, who is also Portuguese and who was a physics professor. And it turns out they went to school together years ago. It's a twisted case. I'm going to go over everything that I've learned while on the ground here in Rhode Island, and all the developments that just came out in this episode of Brian Enton Investigates. Hey guys, so again, I'm here on the campus of Brown University. The engineering school is right behind me. This is where the shooting happened. And it's been just a wild day. I'm gonna get into all the details that came out about the suspect and how this all ended. Sort of started out with us getting reporting and sources that I had that there was a person of interest and that this person could also be connected to the shooting of the professor at MIT. And then we got a report that that person, the suspect, was dead in Salem, New Hampshire, which is about an hour and 15 minutes from here, that they found the person in a storage locker, and all of that turned out to be true. So let me kind of go through the latest for you. The suspect in the Brown University.
I don't know if I believe that, but so that's it, guys, I guess. I want to do the ugly Christmas sweater party tonight, but I don't know. I'm gonna let people that seem like they want to do it with me today, or at all. But maybe I'll come back and do other Broadway talk, maybe at 4:20. Like tea at 4:20, or something. Christmas tea. Anything? Anyone? Anybody around? Nothing over here either, huh? All caught up, I guess. Yeah, let's do something this afternoon. Will you come up on here try to get Listen Honey too as well. Will you come up on the thing? Will you come up on the panel? All right. Should I call it Christmas tea? I'm not gonna wear my ugly Christmas sweater though. But yeah. See, find me some tea and send it if you can. And then what time should I make it for? 4:30. Oh, stop. Okay. Yeah, I told you not to show your face. All right, good, because I want to be able to talk. I want to have a co-host. Like, I'm excited to have Aaron come back doing to do Rhode Island with me. But I'll call it Bravo T. I'll make the thumbnail now, and I'll make it for Is 4:30 okay? My time. All right, I'll take that as a yes. 4:30. All right, yeah, I'll be back. Bravo T and other stuff, whatever. Sound good? All right, guys, if you are watching, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in a couple hours. I know there's like nothing going on. Scour for me. I'll see you in a couple of hours. Bye.